This video will cover the instructions to the lab using PHP to send a confirmation email. The purpose of the lab is to configure the addMember.php program to send a confirmation email using PHP Mailer when a new member signs up. Accordingly, you might need to review the lab on regular expressions, in which case we build up the addMember.php add form, and we also set it up for validation. You might also want to review the external libraries lab, in which we install PHP Mailer under the PHP pair structure. Accordingly, the first step is to look under your XAMPP or equivalent directory structure, look for PHP pair, and make sure that there's a folder called PHP Mailer. If this is not the case, please review the external libraries lab and make sure that you go through the installation process. Also bear in mind that if you're not using XAMPP, the path to this particular folder could be slightly different. The next step then is to modify addMember.php. We would open up the file, which is under Suites Complete. You would need to add an if statement which checks to see if the form passes validation. If the form does pass validation, we will then insert the code inside the if statement, which will implement sending of an email confirmation message. You can use the code found under Suites Complete Mail Test in a file called external-lab-test.php as a basis for your code. You can then copy that code over into the addMember.php file inside the if statement. Once you've done that, you will need to make some adjustments. First of all, you'll assign the body of the mail message as a welcome message that includes the person's name. You will then need to adjust the add reply to and set from to your own email address. The add address function should be modified so that it represents the new member's email address and name. You will then modify the subject to something along the lines of Suites Complete Membership Confirmation. You can remove the attachments in the sample file as they are not needed for this lab. You can then assign any output to a variable which we can call email status, and then display that status message before or after the form. Finally, we'll need to test sending an email. If your computer is configured to send email out, you would simply check your inbox. Otherwise, if you followed the standard installation procedures, you should have an equivalent to SendMail on your local system, in which case the output might appear under the mail output folder, which will be under your XAMPP or equivalent directory structure. This concludes our discussion of the instructions to the lab using PHP to send a confirmation email.